It's always nice, isn't it, to start your Sunday after a West Ham win? It's just a lovely feeling. And yeah, really pleased. West Ham 2, Sheffield United 0. I've got to be honest, I thought it was a really comfortable victory for us, really. I'm going to do another video a little bit later in regards to some of the reactions from our fan bases. Well, when I say fan base, more like the fan accounts sometimes, these sort of bigger accounts, where they're just quite negative and always trying to pick holes and everything. I actually was, I was at the game and yeah, well, look, you're not going to come away from it going, wow, what an incredible performance. But I was actually really pleased with how professional it was. I thought West Ham did really well and never really looked in danger. I thought it was a very comfortable victory. It could have been more as well. I think we're a little bit wasteful in the first half. But ultimately, I thought it was a good performance all round for West Ham. A good day, a clean sheet as well. That was vital. We needed that. I think that's going to boost some confidence levels at the back, especially with Nia Fagerd, who's been at fault recently for a few games. For a few goals in the recent games, and I just think that it does help you. I think you'll go away from that with a bit of a boost, and especially because we've got a busy couple of games a week coming up with football. So yeah, really, really pleased. I just want to go over the sort of main parts of the game quickly. So it was Jarrod Bowen opened the scoring on the 24th minute, and this is after West Ham missed a hatful of chances. I mean, really, at this point, really, we should have been about 2 or 3 up anyway, in my opinion, but. The wait was worth it because the goal from Bowen was quite exceptional, really, from West Ham's point of view. It was just a well-worked build-up, lovely football. And just, it's nice to see us play like that. It's nice to see that we're not, we get this sort of myth that all Moyes ever wants to do is just play set-piece football, where it's just hoofing it in, hoping it's, that's just not true. And that was just a reminder of the quality we've got in the side, I think. Really, really lovely play in the build-up. Paqueta laying it off then to... Vladimir Soufal, who runs down the wing, effectively cuts inside the box and just squares it back to Bowen, and Bowen just tucks it away. And Jarrod Bowen, my word, he is looking like probably in his best form, I think. I go as far as saying now, ever in a West Ham shirt. I don't think I've seen him play this well. I mean, he's always been very good for us, and he has had spells, obviously, been playing well because he's got an England squad. But I'd actually say he's actually above that. I really do. He's such an incredibly vital player for us. And let's just hope we can get the announcement soon that his long-term future secured. I do think that's going to come relatively soon, but. When I say relatively soon, I'm not saying the next couple of days, but I do think it's possibly we're looking at weeks. Then we're going to hopefully be able to give some good news on that. I really hope so, because that is going to be like a new signing, isn't it? It's going to be that important to West Ham. It's vital. So yeah, really pleased for Jarrod Bowen back on the score sheet. I mean, his form has been exceptional. I think that's his 5th goal of the season now. I mean, you can see that 7 games played, 5 goals, 2 assists, I believe, from him. Might be maybe 3 assists now. So yeah, really, really pleased for Jarrod Bowen. Really great goal. And then we got our second, which was on 37th minute. Thomas Souček. I'm going to come to him in a minute. Souček. We're going to do a video in the week regarding him and his season so far, but fully deserved. Really strange goal, actually, because it was effectively a Sheffield United mistake. I mean, they were poor. I've got to be honest. Sheffield United, they look a team. We talked about it in the preview. I don't see a lot in them really this season. They've just not got enough quality to stay in this league. I just cannot see it. I know that Luton Town got a good result yesterday at Everton, but I mean, they're playing Everton, who have also been so poor as well. Very hit and miss. And I look at Sheffield United yesterday, and I just thought, my word, they look like I genuinely look like a League One side. They were that bad at times. I looked at them, they've just got nothing in them here. I just didn't feel we were any danger really, and it's just that's the way it is for them. I'm sorry, but. And the second goal kind of proved that. So that their goalkeeper sort of squares it to their passes the ball to their defender. He then sort of tries to lifts a pass over to their wing, but it's just so lazy. Like just totally wasn't really looking where he was putting the ball. Anyway, it goes straight back to West Ham. It was laid into Mikel Antonio. He then pushes it onto Souček, who just pokes it home. 2-0, fully deserved. West Ham, very, very comfortable. It was one of those, you go into the halftime break, and I was just, I mean, I'm sure every fan will join me in this. I was at that point just comfortable and knew we had the 3 points. You know what I mean? It's one of them games. I just knew we weren't going to lose this game in any way or even draw it. I just thought, well, they won't come back into this now. We've got far too much for them. And I think the second half reflected that. Now, this is what my point is in regards to some of these other accounts. Okay, so like people are saying, well, why didn't we really push on? Why didn't we do this? I kind of understand why we didn't. Like, if I was the manager, I'd be saying, you don't need your players to go and break their back. Yes, it'd be nice to have got a third. I've got to admit, because it would have just given us that kind of like, yeah, it's done. We can really relax completely, because there was that 2-0. Obviously, if they get one back suddenly, it's like all nervy. But I also understand why David Moyes probably didn't want them to go gung-ho for that third goal, because, we've got a busy week coming up. We've got a busy, obviously got playing on Thursday night in the Europa League. And then we've got a huge game next weekend before the international break against Newcastle. And so I'm really pleased that West Ham just sort of went, no, we're going to stay in second gear, really. We'll try and get another goal if we can, but we're not going to go break our backs for it. And I thought it was comfortable. I mean, at no point really in that second half. I think they had a couple of half chances, but again, I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh, I'm really nervous here. My only thing in the back of my mind was that it'd just been nice to get that third, purely just to completely relax. I was probably sort of 90, 95% relaxed anyway, but just to go, yeah, I'm 100% done now. I know we're going to win the game completely. But I can't complain. I certainly didn't come away from that game disappointed. It was just a comfortable day. We don't get that a lot. We're not a club like that. We don't usually get, especially in the Premier League. You consider last season. If we'd have done this a year ago, this match, it would have been a far more nervy affair. We wouldn't have been as comfortable. And I think if we'd have got a 2-0 victory now, we'd be far more delighted. But I felt yesterday was more of a routine win. It was, yeah, we've got more than them. We can deal with them. I mean, if you remember, if you were at the game or watched the game or whatever, even the first few minutes, it was all West Ham. We was all over them straight away. We just look a more solid outfit this season. We look more, we look like a proper Premier League decent side now that's going to be up in the top half of the table. And it was reflected in that performance in the terms of how the game went. Sheffield United simply just struggled to really have any impact on us. They were struggling to make any headway. I mean, yes, they had a couple of chances. I'm not saying they didn't have any. But as I say, I wasn't watching the game thinking, oh, my God, we're really struggling here. I thought, no, we'll be all right. We'll be okay. And considering the fact that was, the 6 games prior to that in the Premier League, we hadn't kept a clean sheet. I thought we looked pretty comfortable overall at the back. And I'm really hoping that that's going to be the turning point for the Zuma-Agüerd partnership. But don't get me wrong, I really like Mavropanos, really good. But I don't want to keep changing things and shifting things around. I'd like to keep that consistency. And I'm really hopeful now that will do them well to good, them two, because I'm not saying that Zuma's been at fault, but I just think as a pairing, you want to keep clean sheets, and the goalkeeper as well. It's important. So I think that'll be a big sigh of relief for them, and they can go away and enjoy their Sunday today and think, yeah, we kept a clean sheet. Look, it was against Sheffield United, but that's a perfect game for us yesterday. It was the perfect time, exactly what we needed after back of 2 defeats. Look, it was against Liverpool and Man City, so there's no shame in that. But you want to get back to winning ways, and to do it 2-0. Clean sheet. I can't complain at all. David Moyes, I thought got it spot on. Really, really good performance from the manager. Actually, there was no point in the game, so I think he got his subs completely right. I think the tactics were spot on. Very good all-round performance from David Moyes. He brought on Kudus later on in the game for Antonio. I think it was the right move. Again, a bit of a frustrating one for Antonio. I mean, look, he causes them problems. Don't get me wrong. He was a thorn in their side all day, and I'm not going to knock him too much for it. A little bit wasteful though, I think, in front of goal. He had a couple of chances, especially in the first half. There was one point when he hit the stanchion sort of part of or the support, whatever you want to call it, for the goal netting. And at that point, that was quite frustrating. I don't know whether I don't think it was really picked up when I watched the highlights back, but he had so many options as well. There are times with Antonio you just question his decision making, but ultimately, no, it was really good. And I've got to say, Kudus as well. He's just such an exciting player. I mean, I actually like the way David Moyes is dealing with the Kudus situation. A lot of people are complaining that he wasn't starting, and yeah, there is an argument that he could have started. I'm not saying that, but I like the fact we're bedding him in, doing it right, taking our time, and we're not going to just throw him straight in. And the game suited Thomas Souček. I said about it before the preview. I got quite a lot of stick for that, actually, from a few fans saying, how on earth can you say Souček's better than Kudus? I never said he was better. No, they're two completely different players for a start. What I was saying was that the game was suited Souček more, and I think it did really. But I've got to say, Kudus' impact was quite impressive, really. He's run when he had that run when he went from sort of like the halfway line and cutting through and passed over to the wing to Ben Rama. I mean, he went for about 3 or 4 players, like without him, it just glided through them. And he is an exceptionally talented player. Very, very exciting. Yeah, good day all round, wasn't it? And it was a strange day for football. I mean, my word. I mean, some results yesterday. I did a little video. It was on the YouTube Shorts. So if you haven't seen it, have a little look at that. And it was just a quick reaction. I was saying on my way home from the game, and I actually think that the Premier League table's already taken shape significantly after 7 games. My mind's always been 8 to 10. Is usually that's the time when you start seeing the table, but I think it's already there now. You've got, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think that you're going to have 3 fighting for the title. I think that's going to be Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal. I think they're going to be in that mix. I think then you've then got the top 4 place, between 4th and 7th up for grabs, the European spots. And I think you look at that this season, I think there's, you've got Tottenham in there, Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham and Aston Villa. I think they're the 5 teams going for that. And there might be a couple more teams add to that at some stage. But for me, that's the pack. So it's quite interesting because you look at the results yesterday now. I actually look at teams like Newcastle, Manchester United, Brighton, and that. These are our competitors this season. These are the teams that they are our rivals to get into Europe. That's how I'm seeing it. So I look at the next game, i.e. Newcastle at home. That's a 6-pointer for us. It's really important. So it was really interesting, the results that actually came in yesterday. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a video later in terms of David Moyes and some of the comments from our fan base, as I've said. But you had like 6-1, you know what I mean? 6-1, it was Aston Villa, Brighton. A bit of a shocker that, but quite in a way. I know Villa are kind of our competitors as well, but the fact they've hammered Brighton, that kind of helps us because we want to push to get some teams out of this. But it's exciting. I'm really excited. I think West Ham are in the European mix this season. I'm going to say it. I really do. I think we look a solid side, and as I said, you watch against Sheffield United, it just looked a comfortable day. Really chuffed. I'm really, really pleased. And I'm surprised that some fans are not sharing that pleasure and enjoyment. I mean, at the end of the day, we're 7th in the league. 13 points. We're having a quick look now. We played 7, won 4, drawn 1. We've only lost 2 games, and we're plus 3 goal difference. I mean, if that's not enough to be happy about, I don't know what is. And we're in the Europa League, and we started with a victory. And we've got another game, of course, on Thursday, Freiburg away, which obviously we'll preview in the week, which I'm really looking forward to. Love a bit of European football. Really do. Really excited. Obviously, very sad that we've got no West Ham fans there. It's going to be annoying. But it is what it is. I hopefully it won't have too much of an impact on us. We want to go there and get a result. So on to man of the match for yesterday. Then this was a tough one actually. It was I had to really sort of think about this and think about how we're going to, because there was a few good performances yesterday. Don't get me wrong, as I said, it wasn't like one of those performances you went, wow, that was amazing, but it didn't need to be. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be a flashy, incredible performance. It was just one that you kind of go, yep, we got the job done, let's move away. So I've gone for 3rd place, Jarrod Bowen. I mean, great performance again. He's just such a consistently good player for us now. I mean, how on earth he is not in England squad? It's remarkable. But no, I was really pleased for Jarrod. Great goal. Another very good performance from him. So he got 3rd place for me. 2nd, fast becoming one of my favourite players in a way. That's sort of unsung in a sense because of his position possibly. But Emerson was excellent again. Like, really, really good performance. Like, he's got that flair. You at times it's actually like a bit Paquetá-esque, isn't it? Like the way he plays, he's sublime. He did some moves because he plays where I sit. In the second half, he was sort of right in front of me, so I kind of got to see a little bit more of him, if that makes sense. When someone's playing right near you, you sort of really notice what he's doing, and he was fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. Some of his passing was exquisite. He works really hard. And his marking's really spot on. He's quick. He was just excellent performance. And I'll tell you what, he is becoming a vital player for West Ham. Well, I wouldn't say he is a vital player for West Ham. Really, really pleased with him. But 1st place for me. I'd like to know your man of the match, please. So do feel free to let me know, of course, and see if I've got it wrong. And I'm sure there'll be some that will give me some stick. But I'm a big boy. I can take it. Well, I'm not really that big actually, 5'7", but 5'8". No, I'll call it 5'8". No, it was Thomas Souček for me. Like, what a performance from him. I'm so pleased. Like, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I gave him some bloody stick over the last 12 to 18 months in this channel. I really have. And calling for him to be dropped to last season, I was so furious at the fact he was always getting selected, and it just felt that we'd lost that player. But you can see the reason why now. Now he's out of that holding midfield role because he was obviously doing that to accommodate a certain individual. I just feel now that Thomas Souček's back to playing in that position that works for him. He was excellent. He was really good. He was getting stuck into everything. Obviously got his goal as well. Just feels like we got that Souček back again. I was really pleased, and I think he deserved man of the match for me, to be honest. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. Of course, we've got a big week coming up. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your man of the match. Let me know. Of course, I do like to interact with everybody as much as I can. So yeah, let me know. And look, big week ahead. We've got Freiburg on the Thursday night away from home. We want to keep this going. I'll tell you why this is really important as well. Not only for the obvious reasons, we want to progress in the tournament and we want to, keep. Of course, we want to win. That's obvious. But you've got to bear in mind that I think it's like in 3 weeks' time we play Arsenal in the League Cup fourth round. The Carabao Cup. So the reason I should say this is because we want to be in a position by the time that game comes that West Ham have, say, got 9 points in our Europa League, because it might make David Moyes. I think he'll go for it anyway, but I think it will give him more comfort to go, let's really go for the Arsenal game. Because, my God, I want to knock them out. I really do. Honestly, that is a game I really have earmarked something. I want desperately to see West Ham win that. I really do. I think it would be very important for everybody at the club, really, to do that. So I'm really hoping West Ham filled out our strongest side for it. And I think that the European side of it will really help. If we're struggling in Europe, so if we lose on Thursday and then something, we need to start getting some points, he may then rest players for that game, for the Arsenal game. He might say, look, I'm not going to prioritise this. Europe's not important. I would get that. But in terms of, bragging rights and all these sort of things, and, and not especially bragging rights, I suppose the right term, you know what I mean? Just for the morale of the club, and the summer we've had with the whole Arsenal relationship, etc. It would be very important, I think, for us to go and get results. So that's my feelings on it. Big week ahead, Thursday night, and then of course Sunday, Newcastle. We'll do a preview on it, but that is a big game, 6-pointer. But that's before the international break. I'm buzzing. Bring it on. Come on, you Irons.